Welcome to Red Eye. It's like Back to the Future. If by future you mean gym, because my new trainer, Marco, hates when I neglect my quads. That's his favorite muscle. He tells me that over breakfast. Due to Andy Levy's tragic death from an overdose of tender victuals, there's no pregame report this evening, so let's get right to it, and let's welcome our guests. Well, she's so bright. Her reflection wears sunglasses. I don't even know how that works. I'm here tonight with Ann Coulter. She's a political commentator, an author, and a columnist. Her latest book, Mugged, just came out in paperback this week. It's about her decade-long affair with hot cocoa. And filling in for Andy Levy is Swiss pole vault champion Guy St. Cloud. Guy is crashing on my couch until fall 2017 due to a misprint on his work visa. He has athlete's foot and a third nipple, which he keeps in his wallet. And he once tried to sell his own arm on eBay. It's my repulsive sidekick, Bill Schultz. And if thoughtful commentary were a bike tire, I'd pump him in my garage regularly. Sitting right next to me is Larry O'Connor from somewhere.
A-Block, the lead. That's the first story. You can't hire Mary Poppins as your nanny if you don't have any kids, Greg.
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, no.
All right, should you wait to text a mate? A New Jersey judge, they have them there, has ruled that if you message a person you know is driving and they get into a collision, yes, you, the person who texts the driver, could be held responsible. This is mind-blowing to me. The case involved an accident where a teen girl was texting her pal moments before he smashed his truck into a motorcycle. The couple on the motorcycle both lost parts of their legs. They sued the driver and the texter, the person texting the driver. Court let the... Why am I explaining this? I'm explaining this because I'm outraged.
Yes.
I'm outraged. The court let the girl off the hook, but said that in future cases, the text sender could actually be blamed. I believe we have tape of what can happen when a driver is distracted. I already saw this video, so I'm never surprised. All right, Larry. Okay, this story kind of blows my mind because basically you could be sued. I mean, you could already be sued for doing something wrong or doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But in this case, they're saying, like, it's almost like you're a car accident drone. Like you are you are sitting there with your phone now becomes a drone.
I know. I'm as outraged too. In fact, it demands more explanation, I think. It's so outrageous. Have you ever had a spouse, though, that like blows a gasket if you don't respond to a text immediately? I mean, trust me, that's more dangerous than a car accident. I just respond back K real fast, right? Otherwise, she's going to be very angry. Should we eliminate the Amber Alert signs? Those are designed to distract drivers. That's the whole purpose. Or what about the billboards on the side of the road with very sexy ladies that distract me? Where does it stop?
I like how you said sexy ladies, just to make everybody know you're straight.
I'm ambiguous.
Yes.
I admit it. I embrace it.
Okay, no, the thing is, obviously this is going to come down to a point where you're going to be able to, text will come up on a screen while you're driving, and you'll be able to answer. That'll happen in the future.
On your Google glasses.
On your Google glasses, that's true. And two-part question, should Obama be impeached or should Obama be impeached?
Yes, and I think this story illustrates why.
Yeah.
And yes, because the video you showed illustrates why. I was soft on this story at first because I think people who text while driving should get the death penalty.
Yeah.
But then I realized exactly what Larry said. There are a million things that distract you. This is a gift to trial lawyers, not to those of us who want to murder people who text while driving.
No, it's astounding, Andy. I'm trying to work up, gin up some own internal outrage.
Yes.
The thing is, New Jersey's really tough on texting and driving.
As they should be.
As they should be, because the behavior does endanger others. We know that it does. Somebody on a phone obviously is not going to be driving as safely as somebody who doesn't. But what about the other person?
Well, here's the thing, Greg, as I like to say, about the other person. How do you prove intent? How do you prove, because it can only be when the person knows that the other person is driving and would answer the text.
Right.
So how do you prove that? I think to play it safe from now on, I'm sending out all my texts and emails. I'm adding a little signature line saying, do not respond if you're driving.
Ah, very good.
Oh, and by the way, you know how I can answer that. You know how you'd know with lots of depositions from well-paid lawyers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's one way to know. You could go through the person's texts and you could see, well, is it obvious that the one person is driving and the other person kept texting, or you'd have to prove, oh well, they were just together,
Right.
and then the guy took off, and so the girl knew he was in a car and she was texting him anyway. But how do you, this whole thing is insane.
All that will matter
I'm outraged.
is how much the person texting is worth and how much the company with
True.
the billboard is worth.
But what about criminal justice? I mean, couldn't you intend to murder somebody
Wasn't there
with this?
Wasn't there a Law and Order episode like, I know she's driving up a very narrow road on the mountain. I'm going to text her and ask for her recipe for meatballs.
Just so you know, it's been on for 35 years. So if you start with wasn't there a Law and Order episode, the answer is yes.
Yeah,
Probably two.
I want to get Bill into this because these two teens, they sent each other 62 texts that day. I guess this disproves your theory that teens don't like texting.
That and also teens are against twerking. If you give them the option to twerk and not to twerk, they're going to take not twerking.
I had no idea.
First of all,
Is it a right to twerk state?
yeah, well, you know,
Nice.
I support minimum ages for twerking, 18 and above. Secondly, welcome to Chris Christie's New Jersey. I don't think that's obvious to all of us. Secondly, it's almost as if the appellate court is begging the Supreme Court to rule on this, and the fact that it is a civil case rather than a criminal one, that of course means that there'll be minimum, you can do minimum amount of damage to someone and still have to pay a lot of stuff for it. And I did not get that from New Jersey lawyer Remy Spencer. That is all from the top of my noggin. You can look at my emails because even if there wasn't email that said that from her, someone put that in.
Well, I just want to say I completely agree with Ann. What you said, texting while driving is horrible. I do, however, I will twerk while I'm driving, and I don't think that should not be a crime against.
Start great on the pedal.
Should
That's
not
why
be
you
a crime
start and
against
stop.
anything.
And
No, we
start
want to
and
pay
stop.
you extra to do that.
All right, I think we've destroyed this story.